Oh God, we just got our first look at that passenger side. Oh God, what am I doing? What have I done?
Yeah, the longer I look at it, the worse it gets.
Alrighty folks, so in today's video, we're gonna be doing a little maintenance on my 2021 Ford Bronco. And by maintenance, I mean we gotta drop the gas tank and do some serious welding to the frame. Now, hopefully we can add some reinforcement to this area, as this is the second time this has happened. Now, before we dive into fixing this thing, I need to explain a few things for those of you guys who aren't quite picking it up yet. We've got my 2021 Bronco Badlands, 37-inch Toyo tires, Baja kits, upper and lower trailing arms, and the Icon Stage 3 suspension. Those are the main components that are playing into this issue. The main culprit, however, well, the main culprit is me, but the second main culprit is these good-for-nothing mounting points for the upper trailing arms. Unfortunately, after a couple years of abuse, this sheet metal has had it, and we have some serious cracks forming along the frame. Now, like I said, this is the second time this has happened. The first time, this bracket completely ripped off the frame to the point where I could wiggle it freely.
What the frick, dude?
You're lying.
Which is crazy, but we got that taken care of. Everything was going smooth up until a day before I left for the Rubicon Trail. I rediscovered cracks forming on both sides of my frame.
All I know is that we are hours away from taking this Bronco on one of the gnarliest trails in California, and we've got trailing arm brackets ripping off the frame. So
as gnarly as that is, some of you guys may ask, you know, Mitch, did you still go on the Rubicon? Yes. What kind of question is that? For the record, I never said that was the smart thing to do, but on the Rubicon, it was creaking and cracking, and there were absolutely painful noises the entire time.
we are not even 5 minutes into the trail, and we are hearing all kinds of crazy popping noises like that one.
And I knew I was gonna have some serious work to do when I got home. Lo and behold, 4 months later, here we are, finally getting to it. The truth is, I can see the comment section now. Ford this, Ford that, Jeep this, Jeep that, your welds suck, yada, yada, yada. The truth is, my welds do suck, but that isn't the issue with today's problem. If we look at my welds, they're not failing, but everything around them is. So the job today is to figure out how to keep that from happening in the future. Now, with that said, again, because both sides of my frame are cracking, I get to drop the gas tank again, and maybe I should have looked into getting all of this warranted, you know, 45,000 miles, a bunch of suspension upgrades, and all of the content posted up for your guys' entertainment. I'm sure I could get it warranted. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Maybe something you want to consider if you're not as abusive as me. It is time to get to work. We're gonna clean first, and let's see what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into.
Oh, fudge.
Whew, God, okay. 45 minutes later, that was a total pain to get this thing out. Now we've got way more access to that driver's side bracket. We should be able to button that side up pretty stinking good. Okay, it is a new day. I am rested up, but before I patch up that driver's side, I'm gonna drop the gas tank on the passenger side just so I could get a peek at the carnage hidden underneath all of that mess. So stick around, give me a minute or two. Oh God. We just got our first look at that passenger side. What am I doing? Give me a few more minutes. Alrighty folks, after a little bit of struggle, this gas tank is completely free. In case you end up ever having to do this, I'm gonna show you the plugs that I messed with. That way if you need to drop your tank, you can. I'm gonna show you how jacked up this mount is in just a second, but let me go over those lines and stuff that you need to disconnect real quick. Also, I'm gonna try and go over this very quickly because I don't want a bunch of you guys to stop watching, so give me a second. Okay, so over towards the front of the vehicle, we've got this line right here. All you do is this line has these little red tabs on both sides. This thing comes off nice and easy. And then what you're gonna do is squeeze the bottom. This thing right here, you can see it pushes. You just squeeze that and pull those apart. That's super easy. Okay, next I undid this plug. This thing was sitting in that little hole right there. Next, I undid this plug right here. And lastly, this big connection right here. All it takes for this guy is the same thing. You just press down on that white piece right there and pull them apart. I like using these pliers because it gives good force. You just get it on there, squeeze and pull apart. Okay, obviously I did these guys over here, which you saw, so that's pretty much all there is to it. Now all I have to do is drop this tank and show you guys that carnage. Oh my goodness gracious.
Right up here?
Yeah, that's good right there. Oh shoot. That's not gonna be fun at all because all the welds are broken. Oh, and then look, then I got the crack right in here. This is all cracking. This is cracking. Oh, fudge, dude. Oh, golly. That's what all that clanking was. That's what I'm talking about right there, dude. I'm just kidding, this doesn't make me happy. This doesn't make me happy at all. Well, folks, I guess we're gonna give you a 5-minute tour of this carnage because that's about what it's gonna take to explain all of this. The more I look, the worse it gets. That's the thing. Okay, so because we already covered the driver's side in some other videos, I'll show a couple of the clips, but this is not even half as bad as this passenger side. So I'm gonna flip this camera around and we're gonna show you guys what we are dealing with in today's carnage episode. Just a disclaimer, yes, I know that I am a total idiot, okay? And feel free to leave it in the comments if you haven't yet. This is stupid, man. This is next level, baby. All right, so we don't have to look that closely to see that we've got some major issues going on. To start it off, we've got this crack forming actually along the frame, but it does not compare to the crack that we've got going along the control arm bracket. As you can see, it is completely busted off the frame. Moving on, we have got this crack that probably goes way up into here. We've got a bigger crack going way up into there. We've got cracks along the top of the control arm bracket, going all the way around. And to finish off this bracket, we've got all of the welds broken along the back. So what that means is this entire bracket is held on by this bolt and this bolt alone. So the second I loosen this thing will be flopping around just like the other side. The fun doesn't end there though. We have got a crack forming again along the frame up here. We've got my holes getting wallowed out, so this is just a complete basket case, guys. The big issue now will be trying to figure out how to weld all of this back together, if even possible. There's a lot of really wrong stuff happening up there. So I don't know if plating is gonna help. I don't know if I need to completely cut some of this stuff off and re-weld it. Obviously it was somebody's smart idea to go play in the mud before we did all of this. So all of those cracks have some contaminants and it's just not looking too hot. But we have persevered through adversity before and you guys have come along for the ride. This is no different. So with that said, we are going to get to cleaning, get a few pointers and some advice, and take it from there. So let's get to work.
I spent the next couple of days thinking, brainstorming, and cleaning the heck out of the mess I had created for myself. In that frenzy, I realized this video had the potential to get very long-winded, so rather than fill you guys in on all the minute details, I decided to cut straight to the fix I came up with.
Alrighty folks, so after several days of cleaning and welding and grinding, we finally have a fix as of right now. What I ended up doing was I basically gusseted the entire bracket on both sides. I'm running a total of 8 gussets. Now, technically, if you want to get into the technicalities of this, maybe they're gussets, maybe they're not. I'm gonna call them like stitch welds because that makes sense to me. So what I did was I just reinforced this entire area with these stitch welds. so that hopefully with the abuse that I'm gonna be taking with these arms on the trail, continuing to go out and have a good time, hopefully the abuse doesn't blast these brackets off so easily. Now, because I poured a lot of heat into this frame, I am a little bit worried about the future issues that may come from this, but as of right now, this is pretty beefed up. Now, I will be checking on these welds very consistently, pretty much after every trail I go on, because I'm not sure that this is gonna hold up and work. If it does, then you guys can probably expect to get a fix-it-yourself kit out of this. As of right now, I am pretty stoked with the fix, aside from having a look at these bubblegum welds that I threw together. If anything, it's a reminder that I need to weld a little bit more often. But with that said, that is the fix to this. I'm gonna throw the gas tank back in here, do some more buttoning up of this, and then we'll work on wrapping this video up. So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching up to this point. Let's get this thing all buttoned back together. Apparently I forgot to press record when we threw the tank in, but... Okay, so after several days, here we are with the final product. The gas tank has been installed again, the arms are back in, everything is supposedly plugged in, and this should all work once I put this thing down and plug in the negative battery terminal. With that said, one thing I did want to point out before we put this Bronco back on the ground is I did find the nut retainer for the upper trailing arm bracket between my gas tank and my skid plate. So obviously this ripped off on that side. Taking a look on the driver's side, I am also missing it, so I assume it is sitting on a trail somewhere. So that's probably why those holes were getting all wallowed out, but I did add some reinforcement in there, and hopefully this should all hold. All that's left to do is put this thing down and see if it squeaks a little bit less. Now, I'm not even worried about the welds right now, I'm just worried about making sure I actually hooked the gas tank up correctly, so. Oh, she is back on the ground, ladies and gentlemen. For how long? Who knows? All right, and the typical moment of truth where we get to fire this sucker up and see if it starts. I honestly thought I was only gonna have to deal with these kind of feelings with the early Broncos, but lo and behold, here we are. That's a good sign. That means we have fuel for now. Let's pop that garage door open and take this thing for a spin. Do we look angelic? I see the light. Heaven. Might as well just start hitting all the bumps in the road, really test those welds out, you know what I'm saying? I don't know when we're gonna hit the trail next, but it's not soon enough. I'll tell you that much. All right, she's back on the road and driving straight. Well, doesn't sound like I forgot any bolts just yet, so that's good. Just trying to like figure out. Okay. Yeah. Just trying to... We are just listening for anything suspicious now, folks. I really need to hit a bumpy road though. Not even for the testing, I miss the bumpy roads, you know what I'm saying? Been gone for too long. It's only been a week. All right, well, the bumpiest thing within a mile of us is our own driveway, so we're gonna bomb through there, back into the garage, and wrap this video up with some final thoughts. Ooh, that one sounded fun. Alrighty guys, there you have it. We have finally fixed my 6th gen 2021 Bronco, and it's been a long time coming. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this thing has been jacked up since the Rubicon all the way in, whatever it was, September. What you guys need to do is go home or, you know, crawl underneath your Bronco wherever it is with a flashlight and check those welds on your upper control arms, whether you got stock arms, whether you've got aftermarket arms. We have been seeing a lot of issues come up with these stock brackets, stock arms or not. So one thing that I am going to do is link a very good forum post from our friend Caleb Patterson, one of the administrators for Gold Country Broncos. He did a very long write-up. He's done a lot of research on this issue because it happened to his Bronco as well. So make sure you read that for some more in-depth information. I will say that this is not the only way that you can fix this issue. I know I didn't really give like a, hey, this is what you need to do to fix it, because I don't know if this fixed it or not. I'm crossing my fingers hoping that the next time I get out on a good trail, I get off, check those welds, and they're all gonna be solid. So with that said, this is just to give you guys some ideas. Let me know what you guys think. Again, go ahead and roast my welds down in the comments. I'm here for it. You guys can totally rip all of that apart. But with that said, we have kept you guys long enough. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know what you guys want to see next. Hope your 2024 is going great so far, just like mine is. And with all of that being said, we'll see you guys out there on the trail. Peace!